Hey, just a real quick video for y'all. I wanted to show that you can chop up, peel first, wash your tromboncino. You want to wash it off because it makes like a gel, and even after, as soon as you peel it, it's going to make this gel, and you can't really see it on the vegetables or whatever. But this is what I do with some tromboncino. I think that's how you say it. I'm gonna keep saying that. But you chop it up. I put some whatever peppers are I can get from my garden, which this is Anaheim and jalapenos, and then some onion, and then some butter, and then you're gonna cook that all together, saute it, or whatever people call that. I just call it cooking. And then you're going to add this Tony seasoning, the Moore seasoning, and to your taste. And I like it because it has everything you need in it, instead of adding a little bit from this bottle, adding a little bit from that bottle. From your seasonings, you can just buy this and use it, and then add more garlic or salt, or if you want. And then you're going to use 1 jar of pressure canned chicken breast, ugly chicken, some people call it, but it's good. And so once this is sauteed, you're going to put your chicken in, and then you're going to add a drained can of these cannellini beans. They're good with this squash, and let it all kind of heat up and cook, and cook it to your texture that you like. But what I was going to show real quick is that gel I'm talking about. You need to wash your knives as soon as you're done messing with this stuff, because this squash is wonderful. It's easy to grow, it's pest resistant, and it makes a lot of squash that you can, and it pressure cans really well. If you eat it when it's young, it's more like a zucchini or a summer squash. But if you eat it when it's a little bit older, it's going to be more like the texture of a butternut squash, or a spaghetti, not a spaghetti squash, that's wrong, but like a butternut squash, but without as much sweetness. So I like it, but this is what I do with it. But you want to scrub your knives and your cutting boards as soon as you're done using them, because I cut this up and then I laid my knife down and I've got that residue. It's like a glue, and it is hard to get off. But if you cook all this up together, it's really good. And yes, I know Great Value brand is questionable. But the problem I'm having right now is getting these cannellini beans without them costing an arm and a leg. I've ordered them twice on Amazon, where they're supposed to be 80 cents a can, and they've canceled my order twice. So I just ran to Walmart today, and they have them at Walmart. I don't know about y'all's Walmart, but my Walmart, I don't shop at Walmart that often, had them for I think 86 cents a can. So I did buy quite a few. But these items taste good together, and if you want to, you can add some sausage into this, and that's really good as well. But it just depends on what you like. But the chicken, these white kidney beans, cannellini beans, whatever, combined with this seasoning, is really good. And we like it with the peppers in it. You don't have to put jalapenos and stuff. I've cooked it before where I've had some of my cayenne pepper grew nicely. I got a few off my plant this year. They don't like to grow in my yard, but I put that in. But what is really good, if you can get your hands on it, is Hatch chilies. Like HATCH. those chilies are really good combined in something like this. But I know the camera just moved all over the place because, and my pan is sliding around because I'm not holding it. But anyway, I do like these beans, but they're getting really expensive, and to get the seeds for them as well is rather expensive. So I'm not sure what's going on in the white kidney bean world. I know a lot of people don't like kidney beans, but if you get the canned ones, and if you get the canned ones and drain them and then use them and put some butter or olive oil or whatever oil you choose or whatever fat you like to use, it's really good. So when I add this chicken broth in, this is raw packed chicken. So when I pressure canned it, I packed it into the jar raw, did not add any seasoning or any broth. And you cook it and it makes its own broth. Yes, it looks ugly. Well, canned chicken looks ugly, but it does not taste processed at all. It just has like a chicken texture. And I'll dump that whole thing in here when the squash and the peppers and onions are done. Now you can add garlic, fresh garlic if you have it. I didn't grow any this year or last year to have, so we're kind of just running by luck, you know, with what I've got in the pantry. But yeah, if you like these beans, go ahead and get them if you can find them for less than $1, because they're getting harder and harder to find, which makes no sense at all. So hopefully Walmart's cannellini beans aren't bad. I hope, because I really like those. I mean, I've got pressure canned black beans and black beans and garbanzo beans, and you know, I've got lentils, all of that. You can already, and people say, well, why don't you just keep them dry? It won't take up that much space. Because I don't want to have to cook them. Wait for beans to cook, because when you pressure can them, they're just ready to go. You know, if you do it right, you can open a jar and make like skillet chili. If you like hamburger chili with beans in it, you open a jar of pressure canned beans, and then you open a jar of your pressure canned hamburger meat, which is a different process than the chicken. On hamburger, you're going to, they say par cook it, so it's just a little pink before you fill the jars. I don't do that. I cook it all the way because I like firm meat. I don't want soggy meat. So when you pressure can it, the hamburger meat will get kind of soggy-ish, but I find that if I pre-cook it all the way, it works for me. But what works for other people, I don't know. Maybe it would, I don't know, but no, I like mine done a certain way. But yeah, you're just going to season it until you like what color it is, and then just cook it like this. And a lot of this liquid is going to cook off. And normally when the liquid, and I have it on like a medium to high heat. My oven, my cooktop goes from 1 all the way up to 10, and I have it on a 7 right now, and then I'll turn it down to a medium, which would be 5, and then once these are to the texture I like, because you don't have to cook it, the tromboncino, you don't have to cook it as much if you like it more firm. I like mine cooked like yellow squash, like my mama used to make. Now, of course, my mama would have fried this. But I try not to fry too much. But I do put butter in it. But I don't have cholesterol problems. So somebody who would have cholesterol problems, maybe you wouldn't want to use as much butter as I use. And I used, I think, anywhere from 3/4 of a stick of salted butter to a whole stick. And that's because I'm also cooking for somebody who likes fatty foods, which is funny, you know, because he never would eat vegetables. The old toot, he never would eat vegetables until I started growing all this stuff. And then he's like, well, you grew it, I'm gonna eat some of it. And now he's a fan. He's like, well, are you cooking any veggies tonight? And I say yes, and he'll come by and get a plate. But just cook it how you like it, the texture you like, and then add in your drained beans and chicken, and it's really good. And then taste it, see if you need more seasoning. But I'm gonna tell you, this is one of the best cheat codes right here. And I know it's probably got a preservative or two in it, but I like it because it's got your salt, red pepper, black pepper, chili powder, and garlic powder, you know, dehydrated garlic, and the preservative. But you know what? Today's day and age, you can only do what you can do. But it's got just about everything you need in it. And if you use the salted butter and this, because this has salt in it,